So sprinting from China is looking like it's going to be their number 6, Yishen Jiang. Again, Risha making it look easy, gets there comfortably a boat length ahead of her opponent. Very, very, very strong sprinter. So France putting a boat inside the zone. It's looking like it's going to be Jarosevsky trying to make some space, play on, call the referees. Lovely ball in. Finds Jarosevsky. Oh, what a cannon! I think showing the world why they put her in the zone. France on the board within the first minute. Very, very, very impressive. China looking like they're going to go send Yan Yu into the zone, but she's been held well out by the very, very same Jarosevsky. I think very, very strong player. Ball runs right, Feng finds herself under pressure, and once again, we had this in an earlier game with France as well. It seems to be an unspoken signal that goes off, and then that French zone just explodes into action. You think they're not going to chase, and then they just, like magic, leap into action. Not pressing too high. Long ball over, finds Cao. Concedes the foul for hard contact with the body of Richard. Long ball up. Abelard picks it up. Over to Corson. Corson! Top left corner, beautiful work. France 2, China 0. 2 goals within 2 minutes. I wonder if this pace will continue. I think the Chinese potentially looking a little bit more nervous, but they cannot afford to let up here. In goes number 7, Li. Big calls of Allez le Bleu in my left ear. Once again, the French are going to be pushing out here, so they're going with the chasing 2 and 2. So we're going to see, it looks like Mero Irian and Abelard pressing the Chinese back into their own half. They do need to make sure that they don't chase too high, but of course if the Chinese aren't going to move around and create more space, then more power to you, off you go. I think 4 boats from France have joined the fray. They've successfully drawn the foul, so it's going to be a French goal, quite frankly, Corsan. Three goals within 3 minutes. We're on track to make that pace. Will we see 10 before 10? Who knows? Again, I think the Chinese maybe not as experienced with the press and the pressure that they're receiving from the French. The French, very, very quick team, and they are not afraid to use their speed and strength against their opponents. Oh, interesting. Okay. Illegal kayak tackle. Puts the ball over to France. Gilmar. Just securing the ball for France. They're going to take their time with this one. We're going to see a very, very classic French 4-man style, but if you're not going to be drawn to the player, you cannot leave Abelard unattended. Any one of those players can shoot. Every single one of them is a threat. You need to go and hit them, otherwise that will happen. 4 within 4. Referee is just getting the ball back to the center line. Yeah, again, the Chinese looking very, very nervous. think, yeah, the Chinese need to be a little bit careful here that they're not obstructing the French, I suppose. Play-ins called in their favour. Cao finds herself under pressure from Meadow-Edian. Meadow-Edian comfortably covering 2 players. And Cao managing to get the ball away. We're going to need to see a little bit more movement from the Chinese here. It all looks very, very, very uncertain. Need to be careful with the 5 seconds, that's it. So the ball is still in your possession if it's within your reach. It needs to move a metre away from you. So I think, yeah, referee's correctly calling that illegal possession for... Oh, that was a long shot. That was almost from the halfway line. Absolutely fantastic. From number 6, Jarozewski. Five goals to 0. France maybe dropping their pace off a little bit. Very much towing the line with illegal possession here. I think that ball needs to move just a fraction more away from you. I think the referee is choosing to keep the flow of the game going. Unfortunate boat ball interaction there. Richard picks it up, moves it off to Corsan. All the way up to Abelard. Abelard flying in, looking dangerous. She's having a go. Yep, fair. Oh, takes Tao's paddles clean out of her hands. Very, very low shot, but you know, gave Tao something to think about. Chinese have managed to keep possession. No, they haven't. Illegal holding. The Chinese, they're going to need to do something different if they want to get this ball back. Onemi over to Abelard, all the way over to Meadow-Edian. Off for a goal line throw. I think interestingly the French are not choosing to go for their 5-man press, which they absolutely could here. I think they would have it in the bag. They clearly back their 2 chases to cause enough grief for the Chinese that they are comfortable sending Bonemi back to the goal. Lu on her own finds herself under pressure from Richard. Richard, menacing. Tao finds Feng. Abelard covering 2 of them. I think both of them looking quite nervous to be even in the vicinity of Abelard. Tao needs to get her hands to it once again under pressure. And picked up summarily by Abelard. She's having to think about it, but she's decided to give it back to her teammate, Richard, who takes France up to 6 goals to 0. Three minutes and 13 seconds left on this clock. I think the restarts have been at a leisurely pace today, so I think we've got a little bit more than that actual polo happening. Lie to take. Fan Zhao. In the zone is Li, and she is being held well in her place by Corsan. Concedes the illegal holding. Abelard taking the ball up. Someone needs to go to her. Someone needs to go to her now. Someone needs to go to her. Otherwise, that's going to happen. France 7, China 0. I think there's some communication there from the Chinese. You know, I'll go to goal. You go to the person with the ball, please. I think that would have gone a long way there. Once again, I think the Chinese looking decidedly unsure. I don't think they know what the action plan is, but looking like we're getting a little bit more speed in us now. I want to see some real fire from this Chinese team. I know that they have it in them. They've drawn a foul much closer. This is an opportunity for them to move the ball much closer. That is a warning for number 7, Canoe-Kayak. She will be on thin ice for the rest of this match. The Chinese choosing not to take the ball any closer, which is a curious choice, but that's okay. Clearly back in their long shot. Canoe-Kayak, she's on her own. Absolutely no one can catch her. Oh, she is streets away. And the cheeky chest pass just to finish. Just cranked up the speed, and off she went, vanishing over the horizon. France 8, China 0. Will we see double digits before the end of the half? Only time will tell. We're off. Foul to take. I think the Chinese are very, very good at putting a player in the zone, but not quite. I don't think they've quite connected the dots as to how to get the ball in there yet. This is what we want to see. Yes, a bit more movement and speed. Yes, big fan. Unfortunately, passing through Richard will have that effect most of the time. All over the top to Guimard. She needs to hold this. She's under pressure from 2. She just needs to hold it and find a friend. That's the one. There's just too many French boats. Number 6, Yarozevsky, but easily could have been Richard if she chose. 9 goals to 0. I think my prediction is 10. I think we can see another French goal in between now and then. But as I've always said, I love an underdog. I would love for China to get one. Long lob shot, big fan. Off we go. French choosing not to press out this time. I think they're looking like they want to conserve their energy for the second half, it would seem. Fairly comfortable in a 9-goal lead, but I think finishing higher up in the group will be advantageous to them. So, ooh, I think Bonami did actually have to get a paddle to that, just to flick that away. Corner. In the event of any draws in this group, goal difference becomes interesting, as I keep saying. I love a draw, it means I get to get my calculator out. I think that's number 6, Jiang, just trying to summon her team closer to her, saying, look, I actually don't know if I can get that far. Okay, we're all very static out the back. We're going to need a little bit more fire and spice. And I think Richard, just the menacing presence of Richard, just enough to force that error. Guimard. Ooh, just not held to. Managing to be held at 9 rather than 10. I honestly think if the French had pressed there, they could have had 10 before the end of the half. The rain really starting to come down now here in Deqing. As I've said, it has been absolutely beautiful weather up until 9 AM this morning when the whistles blew and the heavens opened. Been absolutely chucking it down all day. Need to try and get hold of one of these very, very nice ponchos I keep seeing people wearing. Score if you're just joining us, as you can see, France 9, China 0. I think summary of the first half would be French white and blue wash. I think just their sheer presence seemed enough to intimidate the home favourites, China. We have seen sparks of Chinese fight, and I think if we can actually encourage those sparks into a fire, this could be much more interesting in the second half. I don't think the French are going to let them get away with it, though. I think they are probably going to continue to absolutely continue their steamrollering. There's a very, very, very strong French side that we've got here. They've got their eyes on the prize. They want that top spot. So they want to be finishing top in the group, which will set them up well for the rest of the competition. As I said earlier, they have been absolutely dominating their previous matches. They won 11-0 against Malaysia and 8-3 against Chinese Taipei. Whereas China, unfortunately, they've had some pretty brutal losses, 14-1 and 13-0 to Germany. But to be fair, it's Germany, so I don't really think anyone expected any different. Big thank you to our sponsors, Yupin Sports, who have kindly supplied all of the equipment for this tournament, as well as, like I said, a number of back of house items as well. Absolutely fantastic in terms of their level of support. So we're very, very, very grateful to Yupin Sports. I think this is around about the time that the British contingent might be waking up, if you're or sort of Western European, I would say. So good morning. We're coming to you live from Deqing. There's a good chance that we've got some French supporters watching this. Big shout out to the French supporters at home for tuning in. Thank you very much. Referee calls line up, please. You join us here for the second half of this under-21 women's group stage game. So sprinting from China, I think it's going to be Zhao taking on, is that Abila? Definitely Abila. Look how fast she's off. Look, she makes it look easy, comfortably a boat length ahead. Avoids the heavy contact with the body. And there's good work from both players there to avoid an injury. Jarozewski wasting no time and trying to punch holes in that Chinese defense. Bonemi round to Abela. Abela over to Richard. Richard finds Jarozewski, swatted away. That is a wonderful stop there from Liu. Looking like it would be Corsan to take. Liu in goal. Looking steely-faced, determined to shut down this French onslaught. Corsan, left-handed cannon, bottom right corner, beautiful work. France making double digits with 9 minutes left to go in this half. Restart, Liu to take. Finds Yu. Over to Zhao, back to Liu. We're going to need to get some movement here. Ladies, in we go, that's it. French, once again, not afraid to push out, and that high top man really putting pressure on the movement around the zone. So I think very, very well done at shutting that down. Abela just needs to hold this long enough to get it to Richard. Richard, she's on her own. We're going to see a lovely chest pass. Nah, bottom. Bottom to top, beautiful. I'm glad there was no chest pass. That's a personal dislike of mine. I understand it has its place, but it just annoys me. He gets PTSD from netball at school. Right, running into the zone, it's looking like it's going to be number 1 Hut. Once again, being held well out by the French zone players. They have been doing absolutely spectacular boat work, and they're making it look so easy. I think Her is thinking better of it. Now she's going to come out and have another go. The rest of the French team watching and waiting. We may see an explosion from this French zone any minute now if they decide to press. There they go. That's the one. Richard, someone needs to go to her. Someone needs to go to her. That bar is a blessing to the Chinese, but no respite from the French onslaught. France 12, China 0. France just slightly off their first half pace regarding goals. Not by much though. We might see them pick it up again. Really want to see this Chinese team move around a bit more. They look so uncertain. Sort of Anne Boleyn, but not with any real commitment. They've got the paddling ability, they just need to go. That's, once again, that explosion from the French side. Abelard just really getting her skates gone. Over to Light. Wayward pass. Ball is picked up by Mero-Irian. Long ball up to Abelard. Someone needs to turn and face her. I feel like Groundhog Day. The threat is the ball. The threat is the ball. I say this time and time again. Is it Interstellar where Matthew McConaughey is trying to communicate with his daughter in the past? Because I feel like that. I'm banging on this glass door and I can't do a thing about this. France 13, China 0. Take it in, draw them. No. This is not going to end well. Surely going to draw the foul. Yeah, calls the play on. Abelard just finding herself in a bit of trouble there, but managing amazingly to keep possession past 3 Chinese boats. Corsan finds a friend in the form of Bonami. Goalkeeping for China is looking like it's fun. She's got her head up. She knows it's coming. Bonami in to Yarosevsky absolutely cannons it in, and there's just nothing the Chinese can do about it. She's just too powerful. France 14, China 0. This is not the biggest score differential we've seen at the championships today, but might very well be by the end of this half. This is tough to watch. China, you need to get moving. No, the French are going to come take this off you. Yep, that'll do it. Lovely ball over, finds Richard. Richard, once again, on her own. Ball in. Banged in by Mero-Irian. Once again. France 15, China 0. And to be fair to the Chinese, they have managed to submit teams for every single category as the host nation this year. They've made history in doing that. I'm pretty sure it's unheard of to be able to field all 4 categories as teams. So I think fair play to them. The fact that they are here is a fact worth celebrating. They really have done an amazing job. And it sounds like the support for canoe polo in China is only going to grow, which is with a population the size of China's is absolutely massive for our sport. I think Asia are fast becoming one of the polo giants. They just need that investment. Once again, the French pressing out. And the Chinese, they just don't know what to do with themselves. They think they're going to try and share possession. They're just trying to hold this. This is very, very difficult. The French absolutely menacing the Chinese back into their own half. It's going to go off for a corner or for illegal possession. Illegal possession arguably worse for China than just throwing it off for a corner because it's already in front of the goal. I think the French very graciously recycling that. Richard just going to hold for 2 seconds while the team resets. Looking like we are going to be running a proper four-man start in true French fashion. So that's Guillaume to start. Over to Richard. Again, not getting down paddles to it. That's uncharacteristic from the French. We're just going to have another go at this. We've got loads of time. 36 seconds left on the shot clock. I think we're just going to try that again, probably by the sounds of it. Richard going to start it herself. So she's got options both right and left. Bonami over to Mero-Ilian, into Jarozewski. Amazingly didn't stick the landing on that one. A blessing for the Chinese. Can China hold this at the current scoreline? I think the French choosing to amble back into their own half. I mean, I don't think they're feeling particularly threatened with a 15-goal lead. Zhang up to Liu. Again, these Chinese midfield players currently just really not looking confident at all. French saying, well, come and take it off you then once again. This is dangerous for the Chinese. Picked up by Zhang. Zhang needs someone to come around the back of her, really, and provide some cover. She is getting absolutely hammered. Zhao manages to hold it. Illegal possession once again. I think the French, their five-man press, really paying off. France 15, China 0. I reckon they've got at least one more goal in them, the French. Could even be two at the pace they were going at. I think they're looking like they want one more. Abelard. Just easy pass into Jarozewski. No one's shutting down that pass inside the zone, which you really need to. Yep, conceded the foul there. I think that's a good call from the refs. Big calls from the left-hand side of me. I think that's the Chinese supporters finding their voices once again. Feng trying to find a way past Abelard, but Abelard being an absolute menace to this Chinese side. She's joined by Guillaume, who manages to take the ball off Liu. 23 seconds left. Surely there's only time for one more here. Bonami bringing the ball up. Looking like she was thinking about passing to Corsan, but Corsan had other plans, it would seem. Lovely ball in, Abelard, surely with one more, that's the one. 6 seconds left on the clock. Are we going to see 4 French players on the line with a keeper, potentially? Surely the Chinese are going to go for a long shot here. They have to. They absolutely have to. There's no other way that they're going to get on the board. It's simply not enough time to move that ball up through that behemoth of white boats. Shot now, come on, get it away.